Today's word is stupendous.
You need some encouragement.
We really, really love listening to you guys.
You need some inspiration.
I love your podcast. Wonderfully inspiring as I think about my marriage.
Stupendous marriage encouragement.
You're listening to the Stupendous Marriage Show.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to the Stupendous Marriage Show. I'm Stu Gray.
Hey, I'm Lisa Gray.
This is a show where we encourage you in your marriage. We hope that's what we do, and we do that by answering your emails. You send them our way. The email directly to us on air at stupendousmarriage.com. You can also text us if you would like to do that. If you've got a short question, 1-615-592-1060, or the big blue button on our website at stupendousmarriage.com. All these ways for you to email to us so we can do this show.
Yes, absolutely. So, hey, last week we talked about your awesome, exciting birthday present.
Yes.
That you're going to see Kiss in concert.
Yes.
That has happened.
Yes.
How was it?
I had a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It was really cool. We were inside the building, so that was good.
Yeah.
We were high up and far away, so they were little people. But no,
That's
it was really awesome. I went with a friend of mine from church, and just lots and lots and lots of fun. Lots of fire and pyrotechnics and explosions and fireworks and. I mean, they were shooting fireworks out of guitars. It was.
Oh, that's so awesome.
It was awesome.
One, I didn't realize that they all had names. I didn't know that.
You mean their characters?
Their character names. Yeah. I just knew them as the real names, if I knew that at all.
Right.
Otherwise, I just knew them as Kiss. So were they all painted like in their characters?
They were.
Okay. And then we were talking about like their age and stuff. Like, how old are these guys now?
Yeah. Okay. So no, their message isn't the most wholesome in the whole wide world. I just wanted to clarify that. Yes, I know that. But there was this sentimental thing in me. It's like, I just want to see these guys perform because I've believed all the hype. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I wrote about that a little bit in our email on Saturday, things you can learn about your marriage from Kiss.
From guys who wear painted
right,
things.
absolutely. And so they're all late 60s.
Okay.
Gene Simmons is 69, I believe. And this end of the road tour is supposed to go on for several years. They want to hit every city that they've ever gone to.
Oh, that's
and
so awesome.
Do like a finale, hey, this is the last time we're ever going to be here.
Yeah.
Plus every city that they haven't been to. I mean, he'll be 72 when they're done. And I saw this interview with them, and you don't think about it, but they do wear 8 or 9-inch heels. He's wearing this big old.
Who's he?
Gene Simmons.
Okay.
His character is the demon. Ha ha ha! And everybody knows him because he kind of.
Well, he did that TV show.
He did TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of like the most vocal of all 4 of them.
Yeah, and probably most seen because I didn't know really anything about them other than just they were Kiss and till he did that TV show, and then we used to watch that, and I actually kind of got to where I liked him.
That also wasn't a great show, but
funny, I mean, it was interesting to watch, and obviously it was. I'm sure he's a lot of acting on there, but it kind of showed a little bit more of his personality than what he can from stage.
Yeah, but he wears this looks like coat of armor.
Right.
And
that's
they're playing these big old guitars and they're dancing around in these big heels and leather. And he says they wear about 20 pounds worth of stuff, each of them, because their costumes are very, very heavy. Then we're sitting far away in this auditorium, right? And the flames that they're shooting and the fireworks, we could feel the heat.
We were
crazy hundreds and hundreds of feet away. And I can't imagine what they're feeling on stage. I mean, they're in it. And we felt it hundreds of feet away. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So the things that they do, it was a lot of fun. They are hype men to the max, and they believe all of their marketing. Oh my gosh, it's really funny.
I had a friend tell me, I can't remember who it was that she saw in concert, but it was somebody in that age group. And
like the Stones.
Right. And she said that he was out there and he would just be all in, just going all in. And then I guess she was backstage or something. He would go backstage and like get oxygen. I mean, not literally get oxygen, but just be like, okay. And I'm like, I feel that way just thinking about these guys in Kiss doing all that. I'm like, no way could I put on 20 pounds of leather and go stand on a stage with all the lights and the fire and That's just so crazy to me. Now, what about the audience? Because I didn't ask you about that. Like,
Mhm.
were there a lot of people crazy dressed up?
I saw several.
Okay.
There were several people dressed in makeup. There was a guy sitting 3 rows in front of us who was full on Gene Simmons mode,
Oh my
dressed
gosh.
up, and he
That's
had the
awesome.
big bat wings costume. And there were several kids there were kids there, which was crazy to me.
What?
Dressed up. Well, again, the sentimental factor. It's like, oh, I grew up with these, so my kids should experience them. But the message that they bring is not one for kids. So I was a little disturbed by that.
Yeah.
But yes, there were kids dressed up and face paint, and I saw tons of Kiss t-shirts, years and years. They've been doing it 45 years.
Wow.
I mean, they are
that
like
is
the Rolling
crazy.
Stones
Yeah.
and the Eagles, and they were one of these bands that came out late 60s, early 70s, and have been doing it and doing it and doing it in various forms. It's not the original 4 guys.
Right. We knew
You-
that. Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Yeah. Which is cool still, though, that they're able to do it even with 2 of the original. But
Sure.
every time I meet somebody or interact with somebody who has a legacy, and I
Mhm.
don't mean just like the public view legacy, but a legacy is something. Like I sold a house last year that they built the year before I was born. That couple lived there, raised their kids there, grandkids there, you know what I mean? And then I got to sell it for them after she had passed away, and now he's in assisted living. And I just looked at that house and thought, what the legacy of this building? And like for me, I would not in a million years want to be famous like that, like Kiss is. And I don't really care about the fame piece, but one day I hope to look back and go, wow, there was a legacy. There was something where I made a footprint on the world. I impacted people. You know what I mean? So it's funny to think that a Kiss concert would make me think about that.
Not to tie it back to marriage, because that's what the show is about, but let's tie it back to marriage. I mean, generation to generation to generation. The Bible says that before Jesus returns, he'll turn the hearts of the fathers to the sons and the sons to the fathers. He says that in Malachi. So it's generational. You're
Right.
talking about legacy. What impact can your marriage have on your kids, on your
Absolutely.
grandkids, on the community around you, on your neighbors, on your city? So that generational piece, passing something on, maybe not the Kiss message, but still
Yeah.
passing something on. You've got something of value that you can pass on wherever your marriage is or your relationship is. We've got our email coming up. We're glad you're here. Let's get to the email. Hey, Stu and Lisa. I met my husband about 4 years ago. He's an attractive guy, and I liked that about him, but it wasn't really a love at first sight situation. We kind of just stayed together because I liked him and had fun. Even throughout our dating and engagement, I questioned my feelings, but I did stay with him. He proposed to me, and since the relationship was good, I said yes. We got married, but I still have my doubts. I think I married him for the wrong reasons. He does have a good job, he's a good-looking man, pleasant, kind to me, etc. One day a couple weeks back, I realized I don't think I can do it anymore. I've tried to love him the way that I should, but I'm tired of doing this. I am wasting my life, and I don't want to feel like this. I can't stand being around him. Feels like he's my sibling or a really good friend, and the thought of sex with him almost makes me sick. I realized I made a huge mistake. Divorce doesn't seem like an option. I don't believe in it. I need some sort of help or insight that the relationship can get better. Can my feelings change for him? I didn't have strong feelings for him at first, but I did decide to marry the guy. I don't feel like I can talk to anyone about this, so your thoughts would help. Thanks.
Yes, it can change.
Yep.
I think so many times life is seasonal, and there are seasons where you start to doubt things. The love at first sight thing is not real. I didn't fall in love with you the first minute I saw you. It wasn't that at all. In fact, our love was kind of founded on being friends.
Yep.
Being friends, liking each other as people, respecting each other as people. And I feel like, and I'm a little biased, but I feel like that type of love, that type of relationship is going to be so much stronger and last so much longer than one that is a quote unquote falling in love at first sight.
My old boss, Dawson McAllister, used to say, you don't fall in love, you fall in ditches.
I forgot that. That's so funny.
And he would go to that every time somebody would talk about their feelings and
Mhm.
falling in love. And I get it.
Yeah.
Your feelings come and go. Your feelings are signposts. They are not the way you do life or change your life because your feelings, I mean, I can have 15 or 20 emotions almost at the same time, or it feels like they're at the same time. Obviously, you can't process all at the same time, but I can be angry, sad, happy within seconds, if not almost on top of one another. You know, I can be embarrassed and falling over myself, skin my knee, and I could be hurting. That's a feeling. I can be laughing at myself because how stupid am I for tripping over my feet? I can be embarrassed because who saw me? All these feelings happen like right there in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Are any of them worth anything? You know, in 5 years from now, I'm not going to remember that one moment where I tripped over myself and I was embarrassed and laughing, and all of those pieces right there together. So you said you had a good friendship. You said you were attracted to him in the beginning. What can you do? Because you made this commitment, and marriage is a commitment, and it is an intimate friendship that you guys have. So what can you do to rekindle the love that you had regardless of the feelings?
Yeah, I remember years ago we went to a Gary Smalley conference, and one of the best stories that he told was he was talking about him and his wife got in an argument, and it got super heated, and they ended up kind of like, hey, let's agree to disagree right now, and walked away. And he went to his office and sat down. His son actually followed after him to make sure that he was okay. And he found him sitting at his desk reading this list. And he asked his dad, what are you doing? And he proceeded to say, this is a list that I made years ago of the things I love about your mother, the things that attracted me to her, the things that made me think of her and see her as my wife and think of her differently. And instead of focusing on this immediate, what's happening right now in the moment situation, I'm trying to get my mind to be wrapped around the fact that, oh, wait, yes, I may be annoyed right now. I may be frustrated, angry, whatever the word is. But this is how what I really think and what I really feel about this woman. And sure enough, he said as soon as his dad was able to have a little bit of time to kind of readjust his brain, he was able to go have a productive conversation with his wife and be able to resolve the problem. And so I would encourage you to do that same thing. Sit down. There were things that when you guys were dating that you really liked about him, and you think he's attractive. You think that he's very nice and very kind. Focus on those things. And anytime a thought that comes into your head that goes, yeah, but it wasn't love at first sight, that thought is probably from the enemy. It is probably some spirit trying to cause division in your marriage. And you've got to fight against it and go, you know what? I made this commitment. I am not walking away. And I'm going to trust that my love for him is just going to continue to grow instead of go away.
You said you're tired of doing this, you feel like you're wasting your life and don't want to feel like this. To me, that sounds in the codependent realm, where you are relying on this other person to give you the feelings of worth and goodness and whatever you need. You're wanting him to fill your emotional and spiritual bucket that he cannot do. You're wanting him to provide all of those things for you. So that means you've got to go back to working on yourself and figuring out how to fill some of those buckets that you're trying to want him to fill. So how can you build worth for yourself? Do you need to go find a job and give yourself to a bigger mission, something other than just being a wife? I don't know if you're working. You didn't mention that in your email.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what is she doing with her time? It's what she's focusing on.
Right.
And so many times, I think as women especially, we are sold in our society this happily ever after and what it's supposed to look like. And if it doesn't look like a husband, 2.3 kids, a dog, a white picket fence, then we're not happy. And that is so wrong. That is not what life is really like at all. I have so many friends that are single. They would be more than happy to take your husband. And I don't mean like literally take your husband,
Right.
but Joyce Meyer always says that. Like, if you're complaining about your husband or complaining about your job, like, fine, because there's lots of people who are waiting in line who would love to have it. So again, thinking about and appreciating the positives and really trying to grow the positives and have a mind shift for yourself, I think is the best thing that you can do. And just like accept the fact that you have made this commitment. Love is a choice. It's a decision. It's not a feeling.
We would love to know how this turns out for you. And hopefully your feelings can change. And I know they will change if you change your focus for sure and keep working on yourself and just loving your husband the way that you have previously, enjoying him, spending time with him. Don't focus on the sex piece.
Right, yeah.
But enjoy your time with him and ease off on the, oh, I made a mistake and my life isn't worth anything. Start working on yourself and start thinking of ways to make your life more not unattached to him, but unattached to the things that he provides that you think should fill all of your emotional and spiritual buckets.
He does not complete you. That stupid movie, Jerry Maguire. We do not complete each other. That's not what marriage is about.
We'd love to answer your question about marriage. On air at stupendousmarriage.com is our email.
Or you can go to the website and push the big blue button.
stupendousmarriage.com. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we will talk to you next time.
See ya. Yeah.
Like the show? Like the show.
Yeehaw.
Share the podcast. Tell another couple.
Hold on. Hold up. This is how I normally talk. Really? Right. Of course, honey. You're always right about stuff.
Ooh, I have that recorded. It's recorded. That makes me happy.
That was just a pretend statement, ladies and gentlemen.
It's recorded. It's right there. I'm going to keep that, and I will start using it in the show.
Hey, you should make it my ringtone.
You were always right.
You should seriously make it my ringtone. That would be hilarious.
That would be very funny.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's start over. Yeah.
Like the show? Like the show. Share the podcast. Tell your married friends.
Yeah.